So we're moving to the next game again. For those just tuning in, this is between Meep Merp and SMiLe. So Meep Merp was dominating in the first game during the early phases of the game, but in the long run, SMiLe was able to pick themselves up and just take an incredible amount of farm and dominate Meep Merp in the end, taking the first game and getting in the end becoming victorious over Meep Merp with the Temper Assassin and the farm Chaos Knight. Okay, so now we're moving to the drafting phase, and of course, as per usual, we will be having Coach Dota take over during this what do you call this discussion. Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
All right, so we're going into game two. In the earlier game, it was SMiLe who took the game after an almost 70-minute long game. So we've seen the potential that SMiLe has right now. They did have an amazing Clockwork and Templar Assassin, so we might see bans for either one of those heroes coming out from Team Meep Merp. SMiLe actually does have the first pick, so uh, a respect ban this early on might give them the freedom to pick out one of the more core heroes in this meta. So we'll have to see how Meep Merp decide to take their first two bans. Still going with the Doom. SMiLe might decide to ban out the Tinker right now. Tinker just really so annoying to deal with. It was Meep Merp's first pick a while ago. They knew what they were doing with the Tinker, and SMiLe. If I were them, I wouldn't want another 70-minute game, and it's actually the Tinker that drags out the game for so long. I would take out the Tinker unless they pick it, because they do have the first pick. So yeah, SMiLe right now, they do have an option to take out the Tinker. Going into reserve time right now, but instead they banned the Faceless Void. Okay, the Faceless Void did have a bit of an impact earlier on. Yeah, the Faceless Void catching out 2 or 3 heroes was able to stall team fights. But yeah, Faceless Void, they're not gonna take a second chance with Faceless Void. Banning out Faceless Void, and let's see what the last ban for Meep Merp is for this stage. They might not want to ban the Templar Assassin right from the get-go, because there's still a bunch of other heroes who are quite popular in this meta who might have an equal or even greater impact. Perhaps the Death Prophet, or maybe the Shadow Shaman. Yeah. Okay, but they ban out the Viper right now. I wonder what they're hiding with the Viper. Perhaps they want to go for the Tinker again. The Viper actually is kind of decent against the Tinker because of that corrosive skin, and the corrosive skin actually, and the early game harassment from either the poison attack or the nether toxin. So Viper not really not too bad a choice to ban out in the first stage of the game. SMiLe, however, this time they have the first pick. A while ago, first pick went to Meep Merp with the Tinker. So SMiLe right now, they have the advantage of picking whichever hero they want to shape the course of their game. They still have the option to do the Death Ball. They can pick up the Death Prophet. Death Prophet, one of those more annoying heroes to deal with. Very tanky, very quick to move, and of course, starting at level 6, especially since she is usually laned mid. When she gets to 6, then you can expect towers to fall down at an early time in the game. So let's wait and see. What could SMiLe pick right now? Maybe they want to go for the same kind of gameplay earlier on, a bit more team fight oriented. They are kind of coordinated in team fights. They've shown that their tri-lane works pretty well, and yeah, everyone contributes in their team fights. To a less extent, actually, the Skywrath Mage earlier on, because the Skywrath Mage just gets picked off so quickly. But there we go, the Shadow Shaman. So, Death Ball Dota is not dead yet. Shadow Shaman, one of the best pushers in the game, has a lot of utility with those disables, and then transitions into a pushing machine with Mass Serpent Wards, 110-second cooldown, taking down any tower or even the Roshan. So that's 45 seconds cooldown on the duration on the Serpent Wards and 110 seconds cooldown. So it's practically just 1 minute in between the wards. Yeah, the wards expiring and putting up another set of wards. Just 1 minute without wards, and then the wards are ready to go again. So, it's kind of something that you might not really expect because it's just 2 creep waves, 4 creep waves for the entire thing. It's actually shorter than it seems. But yeah, here we go again. Tinker first pickup from Team Meep Merp. I guess SMiLe knowingly didn't ban the Tinker. They probably would have known that the Tinker was going to be the first pick, but yeah, they dealt with the Tinker pretty appropriately earlier on, so they might know how to respond to the Tinker this time. So, but yeah, Death Prophet is going to get picked up by Meep Merp. So yeah, a good response to Shadow Shaman. If you're gonna get a pushing hero, we're gonna get a pushing hero as well, Death Prophet, and Death Prophet kind of contributes more in the late game because she's just so tanky, and the Exorcism can be moved about. Unlike the Serpent Wards just stay still, but the Exorcism spirits follow wherever Death Prophet goes. So it can easily transition from a team fight into a push, or a push into a team fight, vice versa. So yeah, Death Prophet. I would have picked Death Prophet for the Shadow Shaman actually, but SMiLe might have a different mid in mind, and we'll see about that. Once they take their second pick. Tide Hunter. Okay, Shadow Shaman, Tide Hunter. This is the Death Ball team fight lineup. They're gonna go, early on, try to get the blink as fast as possible on the Tide Hunter, just to ensure that they're gonna take those towers down earlier on. Yeah, the Tinker farms fast. The Tinker has great mobility, but if the towers go down, then the Tinker is kind of neutered earlier on. So they might be going for that strat. SMiLe, definitely not going the same way that they did earlier on. They have more of a pushing lineup and a team fight lineup. Team fight with Tide Hunter. Yeah, but the second round of bans are coming in, and banned right now is the Centaur Warrunner. Yeah, Centaur Warrunner is the free blink of the early game to the mid game. Just initiates with Stampede, gets your entire team moving into position, and can also disengage, especially after the Tide Hunter. If you do a Tide Hunter Ravage and everyone just uses the Stampede out, then it's kind of a waste. Makes you sad. That's yeah, that's not what you want. So yeah, decent ban with the Centaur Warrunner. Meep Merp, however, ban out the Invoker. Kind of unusual, but yeah, it can be said that Invoker is a decent counter to pushing heroes like Tinker and Death Prophet, because Invoker is actually quite effective in taking down creep waves. Has a bunch of skills that deal AoE damage. A lot of skills actually. There's the Meteor. There's the Deafening Blast, the Tornado, and does the Ice Wall deal damage?
Ice Wall, I think.
I think it deals damage over time.
Deals damage, yep.
But yeah, so damage coming in from the Invoker, very useful hero. Also does have the potential to be a pushing kind of hero with the Zoo lineup if he has those Forge Spirits and maybe builds into an Necronomicon. The Invoker also has the capability to move about and take down towers without people noticing. Yeah, the Zoo Invoker is actually quite effective at stealth killing towers while no one is noticing. But the last ban for the second round of bans is going to be picked out by Meep Merp pretty soon. The last ban for SMiLe was Skyrath Mage, then Pugna. Okay, so in their mind, it was definitely the push. They don't want any more push. They were thinking about the Zoo Invoker and the Pugna pushing capability, so they take those out. Don't want to chance it. The Pugna also very effective against the Tinker, quite effective against the Tinker, because the Tinker is mana intensive, and the Nether Ward deals a lot of damage to the Tinker, especially if he has a level 3 rearm, for example. That's something like 400 damage to the Tinker, and a bit more if the Tinker actually has the Ethereal Blade going on. So yeah, Pugna, decent ban, good ban from Team Meep Merp. They do have the first pick after the second round of bans. So let's see where they go right now. They have two core heroes already in the form of Tinker and Death Prophet. I think if they add another core hero, if they add a melee, agility right clicker kind of hero, then it might not be too efficient anymore because it would mean that three heroes would have to share farm. So they pick out the Ancient Apparition instead. Ancient Apparition, of course, your trial laner, decent utility, can stall pushes, can be a great help in team fights. So yeah, not really cores that Meep Merp needs, but more heroes like these that can
But Meep, what?
already, yeah.
Sorry, I just as not really the course that Meep Merp needs, but the course that Meep Merp deserve.
Okay, so
I am so
we're
sorry.
going Batman. Yeah, they don't really need more cores right now, but they should pick out, the kinds of supports that augment the capabilities of Tinker and Death Prophet, and yeah, Ancient Apparition fits that role very well. So SMiLe, pick up the Wraith King. Wraith King, the baller lord. Very one of my favorite heroes actually. Is useful in all stages of the game. Early game can be tanky in the lane. Can get early kills with a Wraith Fire Blast, especially when he's put in a trial lane. Can transition into a decent ganker if he has the Blink Dagger, and he also has the advantage of not being too afraid to die because he has the reincarnation. And when he does die, he catches his enemies in a bad position because of the reincarnation slow that takes effect after he dies. So early game great laner, then ganker, then in the late game obviously grows into a very powerful right clicker hero because he has that innate crit, and then also a built-in lifesteal. So these are things you actually build for in other heroes. You get some lifesteal item, you get a crit item, but Wraith King has those already in his skill set. So kind of awesome
Oh
to have.
no, we have a Spectre pickup.
But yeah,
Pickup.
okay.
It's
So
going to be a long game.
global global strat for Team Meep Merp. They have the Ancient Apparition global range, Tinker global mobility, and the Spectre, of course, the Hunt just lets you go anywhere. But Spectre is one of those heroes that is definitely most suited towards the late game. Spectre is actually weak in the early game, gets more powerful later on as she gets more items. So Spectre is one of the harder carries in this game. Definitely going to be a late game. If they execute their lineup properly, they'd want to take the game late. But SMiLe right now, pick up the Earthshaker. Okay, so Tidehunter, Wraith King, Earthshaker, lots of stuns, lots of tankiness. Maybe going for an early aggression. So I don't know. This lineup might pay off because it does take some time for Spectre to come online. The Tinker isn't really going to be too helpful against the Wraith King, especially since the Wraith King, Tidehunter, and Earthshaker all are heroes that you want to get Blink on. Even if Tinker has Blink, quite a few of them have the potential to catch up to the Tinker, and they might not get instantly bursted down by the Tinker because all of them are quite tanky, especially the Wraith King, 2 lives. So yeah, Tinker might be having a problem this game with these 3 tanky strength heroes. So the last bans are gonna come out. It's the Weaver. They don't want an additional tanky hero for SMiLe. There's that, but yeah, the Rubik pickup, very essential ban if you're going to have a Tidehunter and Earthshaker. You have big ults, and especially since you have 2, then it means that the Rubik has a chance to catch either one of those big ults. So yeah, good ban on the Rubik. Meep Merp, however, pick up the Vengeful Spirit. Again, it was played last game by Ali. So good decent pick off. I don't think Vengeful Spirit is bad anywhere, unless you're Navi trying to run a Vengeful Spirit carry, in which case it really is bad. But as a support, Vengeful Spirit you can never really go wrong, and a hard carry for SMiLe. Ember Spirit, designed to take late games by clearing out creep pushes with the sleight of fist. But against a Spectre, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think we've seen a Spectre Ember Spirit matchup so far in our series, especially since Spectre is not really too often picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here we go. We have our lineups. Yeah, Ali is also gonna take up the Vengeful Spirit like in the previous game. So we just need the Ember Spirit to pick his hero.
What was the
And
Tinker? What was the Tinker in the last game? Was it
oh no, it wasn't. It's Legendary Man was the Faceless Void a while ago. I think it was.
Hecate?
They switched roles. It was Red Man, I
was-
think.
Oh, okay, let me check.
So
They swapped roles. It was no, it was. Wait, what?
wasn't it Red Man? Because I remember
It
very
was
well.
Kim.
Kim.
It was Kim. Redman
Okay.
was the Mirana.
Legendary Man was the Faceless Void.
Yep. And Ali was a vengeful and Seb was a witch doctor. So yeah, going back into the introductions, we have a court change here with SMiLe going on the Radiant this time and Meep Merp going to the dark side. Redman is now playing Death Prophet. Legendary Man taking the Tinker away from Kim and playing as a Tinker. Kim now playing as a carry with the Spectre. We have Ali on the Vengeful Spirit, the same hero she played in the previous game. So probably, yeah, Ali is a she. And we have Redman at the bottom lane with Death Prophet. Meanwhile, on the aggressive Radiant team here with a 5-man gang coming in, we have the Tidehunter played by Hecate, Guan going for the Earthshaker, Zero on the Shadow Shaman, Heartache on the Wraith King, and Dimitrov on the Ember Spirit. Seems like Dimitrov is indeed their care hero. Dimitrov was the Temple Assassin in the last game, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they actually tried to go for a first blood there, the top lane, but they had to disengage because they got spotted. And it was actually a bad position there for Hecate. He climbed too near behind the tree line that he got spotted.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Meep Merp actually hid under the tower right there. Kind of expected maybe the early game hijinks coming in from SMiLe. So all right. Let's
They
take
might
a-
actually go. Yeah, they might actually go for a kill here in the middle lane. Fisher coming in, locking Legendary Man down. Oh, and wonderful, what do you call this? Chaining there with the Searing Chains and the Shackles, with the help of the Ember Spirit and the Shadow Shaman. And the first blood was taken like around the 40-second mark during that team fight. Okay, so wonderful Fisher, not exactly a perfect one, but good enough for them to lock down the Tinker and give a little bit of advantage there for Dimitrov in the middle lane.
All right. So lost EXP for the Tinker, and an early level 2, perhaps even a level 3 for the Ember Spirit. So a good advantage to have going against the Tinker. Tinker actually moved to pick up the double damage rune. I don't know why. It's not really effective since he doesn't have a bottle, so there's no reason for him to pick up the double damage rune that early. So yeah, this at the laning phase, however, kind of an odd matchup. The Ember Spirit is okay on mid, I guess, but against the Tinker, maybe. I'm not sure if the Flame Guard protects against the March of the Machines, because the March
No.
of the Machines.
No,
Uh,
it doesn't.
The
Flame
March
Guard
of,
only guards for magical. March is physical.
no, it's magical actually. It's
Oh,
magical
really?
damage, but it goes against BKB. So I think it's something like
Oh.
universal damage, something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
One of those remnants from the Warcraft 3 Dota.
Thanks for that. That's what I don't know. The more you know from Coach Dota. So probably it's I don't know what this. Wow. And so what? Well, I guess we will see if the moment that Ember Spirit goes into the March with the Flame Guard on.
Alright, so let's take a look at the laning. The most unusual here is the Ember Spirit trying to lane against the Tinker. Right now, the Tinker actually has more EXP than the Ember Spirit. The Ember Spirit getting zoned out. Not really what you want, especially against the Tinker. You'd want to have more levels against the Tinker earlier on, because if the Tinker gets that acceleration going on, snowball going on, then you're just gonna get more and more behind. So, okay, Ember Spirit, going for something on the Tinker.
Yeah, he actually catches him with the searing chains, but it's quite dangerous for Ember Spirit to go for the Tinker there with a flame guard.
Earthshaker has
And
a
now
haste.
he does. Okay, hang on. Searing chains with the flame guard up on the Ember Spirit, but he knows that he wouldn't be able to take that Tinker on that too close to the tower. Yes, Earthshaker did have a haste. He went for the Death Prophet and just trying to just being a real bastard there at the bottom lane, disturbing the peace that the Death Prophet desires.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the offlaner so far. The Tidehunter getting a bit more EXP. Level 4 right now as opposed to the Death Prophet's level 3. Yeah, it's going to be a much harder lane for the Death Prophet because the Death Prophet is dealing with 3 stuns, 3 different disables. The Wraith King has a stun, the Earthshaker has a stun, and the Shadow Shaman has a disable. While on the other side, only the Vengeful Spirit has a reliable disable. So I added with the Tidehunter's Kraken Shell, Tidehunter can actually be more confident than the Death Prophet. But however, I think both carries are pretty much getting free farm. So let's take a look at the net worth. Yeah, last hits going to Wraith King, and then Tinker at the close second, then the Spectre, and Ember Spirit actually quite behind in terms of last hitting. Yeah, he's gonna get zoned out. Definitely was zoned out by the Tinker. So might not have been the best move for him to be laning mid. Now he's pretty much even with the Tinker in terms of EXP despite the first blood. But okay, so right now the Tinker's caught out. We have the Earthshaker.
We have the Earthshaker with the Fisher and the Flame Guard and the double damage on the Ember Spirit. It's going to be a very quick pick off there for the Tinker. And this is the second time the Tinker has died in the middle lane. This is going to be a big disadvantage for Tinker. Going to delay whatever he was trying to farm if he was able to do so. So he's just sitting at 390 gold. Not even close to a soul in there.
Yeah, so the Tinker being this behind in the game because of those 2 deaths is really gonna set him back. Yeah, Tinker is one of those heroes that does snowball, but if you don't get that snowball getting going early on, then it might just be a disadvantage for you. Actually, it might also work against you if you're not getting that advantage early on. So I think the Tidehunter is just a creep wave or 2 away from that level 6. Has the Arcane Boots already. So gonna move into that Blink Dagger right now. Let's take a look at the last hits. Yeah, this Wraith King is definitely getting free farmed. Not missing too much last hits right there with the Quelling Blade. And following that is the Spectre. 24 last hits. So a bit behind the Wraith King, because the Tidehunter can actually move in closer than the Death Prophet could. So Spectre not really as much guaranteed as much to get those last hits.
And this Tidehunter is just spamming his Anchor Smash. The Spectre is just so soft that he's struggling to survive all those Anchor Smashes there.
Tidehunter has a Ravage, so he can get the Spectre. He should cast the Ravage right now.
Okay, Ali throwing in the stun. I don't know if he was waiting for that. So Hecate a little bit hesitant to do anything big right now. But they could actually he has the Arcane Boots and he has a nearly full mana pool, so he could actually go for that. Meanwhile, at the middle lane, the Legendary Man getting caught by 3 heroes, Fisher and the Flame Guard and the Shackles, is just going to take him down. It was a very quick pick up there. Now we see here at the top lane going back, Tidehunter is just dropping everybody's HP here alone with all those with his tankiness and just sheer durability.
Alright, so the Spectre went for the Midas.
Okay, a little bit of action at the top lane there. Cold Feet getting casted on top of the Tidehunter. Now Hecate, I think this is the time that he might actually go for it, but still no. He just throws an Anchor Smash in, drops Kim's HP once more, and then he disengages. Now the middle lane, we see Vengeful Spirit rotating here on top of the Ember Spirit. Now Legendary Man has enough mana to throw his spells. He's just waiting for the cooldown on the laser, but the bottle will definitely give Ember Spirit more HP there to survive. Ember Spirit was about to jump into a farm remnant.
He didn't have the mana.
Yeah, but he didn't have the mana exactly. So Wonderful, wonderful play there. So, Coach, what do you think? Well, Wraith King was able to pick off his Milas early on. So the question now is, was it really worth it for Spectres to get that Milas up? I mean,
Yeah, it was a
he did.
7 minute Mida, so it's
Mhm,
not so bad. But going up against a Tide Hunter and against this aggression,
mhm.
it might not pay off if he gets one or two deaths before the 11-minute mark. But
Oh,
the Stinker, oh,
what
another
is
Tinker
Tinker
death.
doing? Tinker was actually went down for a gank without any HP there, and Guwan was able to pick him off alone. And now Ravage might actually come in here from Hecate. He does throw it out, and Seb getting nuked down so much. Two heroes down there for Meep Merp. And now Ember Spirit's going to find Ali out of position. Now three heroes are down for one. The biggest thing that confused me right there was why was Tinker going in without any hit points?
Well, maybe they thought it was a solo pickoff against the Tide Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe he thought he would be safe, but yeah, the rotation from the Earthshaker, might have caught the Tinker unexpected.
Mm-hmm. That was just I don't know what to think about that last team fight, coach. It was unnecessary.
Yeah. So take a look at this Wraith King, 58 last hits right now, top of the board. In net worth, yeah, also top, and then followed by the Ember Spirit because of those kills. But the Wraith King doing a much better job than the Spectre
I
right
know
now. The
Ember
Hunt's
Spirit
coming
is
in.
trying. Yeah, the hunt is coming in because the Tinker's in danger. Ember Spirit actually dove into that Tinker there. Ember Spirit might die. No rune for you. You just have to escape this. He has a drums of endurance and will be able to save him from his pursuers there. The Tinker and Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, but the courier died. The Radiant courier died, so
Oh,
that
you
might
know
be
what?
something. Yeah,
The Radiant Courier died.
yeah, the Radiant
It
courier
died.
was killed.
Oh crap. Well, at least that's a lot of gold across the
Yeah,
team.
that's practically an assist for everyone. But here we have Vengeful Spirit, maybe out of position. The Earthshaker is right here behind the Vengeful Spirit. So if they want to initiate, they can. I think the Ravage is up. No, 38 more seconds before the Ravage is up. But they get the Spectre. The Spectre does have a Spectral Dagger. Not going to be an issue. But
Yes, Fisher coming
okay,
in.
so
Oh, wonderful sequence of skills there from Tidehunter and the Earthshaker, not going to allow Spectre to escape even with that dagger now gushes on cooldown almost in 3 seconds. They can actually dive for the Vengeful Spirit. Fisher coming in. Wonderful Fisher there from Earthshaker, but Hecate, the Tidehunter is out of position. Shadow Shaman is here. Is there for support. He has a Mass Serpent Ward. Stinker's now also coming in. He's sitting at level 7 with a fully skilled March and a level 3 laser. So this is actually not quite advisable for an engagement. Getting hexed might actually see a shackle soon. March of the Machines casted by Legendary Man. Ravage up and running. Thrown on top of 3 heroes. A laser on top of the Tide Hunter. Takes a killing spree there for an additional 200 gold. And the biggest mistake there was, I believe, was for the Tide Hunter. He was being too obnoxious. And now
yeah,
Ember Spirit is coming in with a double damage rune. He sees a Spectre, decides to go around the tree line instead, and I think it's just going for the farm. He has a level 1 Sleight of Fist, so maybe he could start harassing the Dire team here for the push. He has double damage after all. And now they do spot the Tinker there, getting stunned, getting steering change, locking down. Ice Blast coming in from Ancient Apparition, hitting on top of 2 heroes there, but the double damage on the Ember Spirit is just too much to handle. He has a steering change once more, traps another hero there. Spectre doesn't have any mana for Hunt or Spectral Jagger, and it was a 2-for-0 exchange in favor of SMiLe. So we see Team Meep Merp really playing a bad game here. Kim is caught out of position once more, getting fissured, getting chained, and that was 3-4-0 overall after all the team fights, while the Wraith King is farming with a ridiculous 83 last hits, coach. That's almost double the highest from anybody else in the game.
all right. So, you know, this Ember Spirit really doing that so much work, carrying through almost all of the team fights. And however, what I'd like to note is the Wraith King has not moved out of this bottom lane so far, and
Mm-hmm.
also the Death Prophet. The Death Prophet has also maintained in the bottom lane, but against the Wraith King. Okay, so we have an engagement, I think.
Okay. Oh, okay. So everybody just disengages here. Illusion Rune getting popped just to hold off the push. And oh, you know what? The tower in the middle lane is barely touched. Oh, Fire Remnant initiate on top of the Tinker there in the middle lane. They do get the kill there. Ice Blast is not doing much damage on top of the Flame Guard. And if this Ancient Apparition is not careful, he might actually die himself. The last battle charge getting used up by the Ember Spirit. It's trying to go for another engagement. Oh no, it's just going for the Perseverance purchase in the Roche Pit. So there you have it. We're now looking at Coach, by the way. I know it has been an action-packed game, but if you look at the score, it's 13-3.
Yes.
Meep Merp is just in a very, very bad position.
So, bad position for Meep Merp. A while ago, actually, they were leading in the early game and kind of fell towards the middle and late because of the team fights. But right now, if you check the net worth, oh my god, it's already over 10,000, almost 12,000 in favor of SMiLe. I know that they were in the lead, but I didn't expect that they would be this much in the lead 14 minutes in. And the experience also 12,000,
Yeah.
but the Wraith King
By the way,
dives.
Wraith King dives in because he has the Blink Dagger. So he was able to take the Death Prophet. He has enough mana to catch somebody else. So go for the Ancient Apparition, enough hit points, but he decides to disengage instead. So now, Coach, we have a Power Treads and a Blink Dagger on top of the Midas on the Wraith King. Is now sitting at level 11.
Yeah, he actually has a net worth of 7,500. I think he has something on his courier. Wait, I can't see anything, so maybe not. Maybe nothing.
Oh,
yet.
nothing.
But
Nothing
yeah,
yet.
but the Midas and the Blink already enough for him. 14 minutes in. Okay, so no engagement. The Earthshaker tries to Fisher but hits nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Tide Hunter close to a Blink. Oh, he went for a Mechanism actually, and is also close to a Blink, even after the Mechanism. And
I have to say that it would take a miracle for Meep Merp to bounce back because everybody just has so much farm. And you know what? The Ember Spirit is almost close to his Battle Fury. He has enough gold to buy the 1/4 component, the Claymore. And after that, it's actually pretty easy to farm the rest of the components. And now Zero, Shadow Shaman's dead. That he's going to shatter. Wonderful pick up there with the Ice Blast from the Ancient Apparition. So Seb doing a great job picking off the Shadow Shaman for his team. And now Searing Chains coming in from Dimitrov here. So he goes for Fire Remnant Escape, just intimidating the enemy while Wraith King continues to farm at the bottom lane. Oh,
Wraith
Coach, I
King
think
went for a Blade.
yeah, I think that was what you saw earlier. Not the middle lane, we see an engagement of the Legendary Man. The Ravage was used, and well, Ember Spirit taking another kill here. It's now sitting at Wicked Streak. Exorcism is up. Redman is out of position. Ice Blast support coming from Ancient Apparition, not going to do much on that Flame Guard. And no more battle charge here for Ember Spirit, but he might actually go for the auto attacks. oh no, I think Guwan actually targeted the Ancient Apparition and he had to walk, but Ember Spirit blocked his path.
Yeah, and the Earthshaker was expecting the Ancient Apparition to come up, but they kind of failed to see that the Ancient Apparition went into the Roche Pit to teleport. Maybe the Earthshaker was sleeping a bit there. You should have seen, but the Vengeful Spirit might get caught out. No more mana for the Searing Chains, or the Searing Chains missed actually.
Yeah, the Searing Chains missed.
So right
Coach,
now,
Ember Spirit has the components for the Battle Fury, and now Shadow Shaman is only 750 gold away from the Blink Dagger, while on the on the Radiant team, Spectre isn't even close to Vanguard. Engagement on the bottom lane there, taking off 2 heroes with an Ether Shock. Wonderful play there from the Shadow Shaman, and now 3 heroes are dead. Buyback coming in from Tinker. They're now going for the 4th kill. Their Godlike is given to the Dimitrov there, and Tinker actually goes for dieback, and an early GG is called from Meep Merp.
wow.
So, wow, it was a 17-minute GG, and wonderful play there from Team. What do you call this? Team SMiLe. It was their first game, and they actually took the win.
So Dimitrov is Bulgarian?
I have no idea if it's real. This is the internet push. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting, but a big contrast from the previous game. I'm at a loss for words. The earlier game, game one, Smile took a victory, but only after 70 minutes of going through against the Tinker and the Faceless Void. But here in this game, it was Smile with a steamrolling victory over Meep Merp. Perhaps a little bit of demoralization coming in from the last game, or maybe fatigue. But either way, Smile takes the series 2-0 over Meep Merp.
Hmm.
So,
So I'm now communicating with the winners, the team Smile, for the what do you call this, for the awarding. So yeah. So well, should we showcase the awarding, coach, or we can actually just post the winners in
nah, you can just
circle?
post later on because
Okay.
I think everyone's gone right now. I think it's a
Yeah.
bit late, and maybe people
Yeah.
have school or work in the morning. So, yeah, that's the game. 2-0 in favor of Team Smile. They were newcomers this time. First game, actually. And Meep Merp is a returning team, but this time, really show of force from the newcomers from Team Smile. So congratulations, and we hope to see more of you in our coming games.